Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Hema Pragnomo and today I'll be talking about creating bilingual minds. Maybe you're asking to yourself why I'm going to talk about this. It's because in just few months we will become teachers and we as teachers we must go beyond the teaching and learning process that we have right now in schools because you know that the students take a lot of English classes and when they get graduated, they are just able to say few sentences or words in English. So you as teacher, future teachers, I encourage you to go beyond this education and to give the opportunity to your students to become bilinguals and to change their monolingual brain to a bilingual brain. So let's start. So what does it mean to be bilingual? Well, being bilingual is a person that is able to speak two languages. But what about a bilingual mind? Well, a bilingual mind, there is not a specific definition for this, but basically it is when a person hears words in one language at the same time the other language becomes activated in their brain. So it's when the brain is capable of processing both languages at the same time. So you know that being bilingual is a good thing since it creates additional job prospects. It allows to talk to more people, and it also has been linked to several cognitive and social advantages. However, you know that there are many problems, and maybe one of these is that we are not fully fluent bilingual in both languages. So I wanna um, ask yourself and think about these questions and answer to yourself. Could you say that you are completely fluent in two languages that you could take a job or bring in either one of them? Not as many, right? But why is that? I mean, they can be different reasons. So let's see. Why are we not all fluent bilingual? Well, I know that foreign language learning is hard. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it seems that no matter how hard we try, we rarely achieve native like fluency. So I know that being bilingual and to speak two languages, it takes a lot of time, right? And a lot of effort, yeah. But does it has to be hard? I don't think it does. Well, what I'm going to tell you today is that the human brain is fully capable of achieving native fluency in both languages at the same time, and that we don't have to struggle to learn there. So what do we have to do to create a bilingual mind or to become bilingual? Let's see. We must begin by studying the brains of those who are really, really good at language learning. Who am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about um, babies, you know, babies who are linguistic genius and all over the world, babies learn their native language naturally and spontaneously without anybody actually teaching them how to do this. So this gets even better because the babies who are able to interact with both languages at the same time, they can become fully fluent and they can become native speakers of both languages. However, at this point, we cannot become bilinguals or we cannot become native speakers of both languages, but we can become bilingual. So in order to become bilinguals, we have to know exactly why and how our babies so good at language learning. So I'm going to talk about a research made at the University of Washington's Institute for Learning and Brain Science. They studied the brain processing of language in babies from 0 and 3 years of age. They focus especially on those babies who are learning the languages at the same time. They are called bilingual babies. Well, the approach they take to study the baby brain is called magnetoencephalographic. This is a neuroimaging technique for mapping brain activity by recording magnetic fields produced by electrical current occurring in the brain using sensitive magnetometers. The machine they used to carry out this research was called MEH, and is the one that you are observing over here. And you can observe the machine and the baby. So basically, what they did in this study was to observe the reactions of the babies when they were typically listens to some language sounds. Some of the sounds were especially for English, others were especially for Spanish, and others were common in both languages, English and Spanish. The half of the participants came from bilingual families where one of their parents was a uh, native speakers of Spanish and the other was a native speaker of English. And the other half of the babies were from families who only speak one language, which was English. So what did I find in this study? The brains of monolingual babies were specialized to process the sounds of English and were not specialized to process the sounds of Spanish, the language to which these babies were not exposed. And of course, as it turns out, the brains of bilingual babies were specialized to process the sounds of both languages, Spanish and English. So what does this mean? It means that the baby brain is specializes to process whatever language or languages are present in the environment. So the brains of those babies who listen to one language is specialized to process one language. But on the contrary, the babies who used to listen to languages were specialized to process both English and Spanish. So what I mean with this is that you, as future teachers, you must know how to create a fully environment and an environment where your students can listen and practice every day and as much as possible their second language. And in that way, you will you will provide them the opportunity to become bilingual and to create a monolingual brain to a bilingual brain. So, what should we do to create a bilingual mind? According to research and researchers, the best way to do this is to teach from an early age both languages. However, we are not going to teaching little kids, but teenagers, so it doesn't matter. They have become bilingual too by providing a fully engaged and that kind of environment, in the environment where they are able to just listen and practice their second language, English. So, can we create environments within public education to which all children will be able to learn foreign languages from a very early age? Yes, we can. Maybe it can take a lot of time, a lot of money, but we can. And maybe one day we can have like a program in all the places in our country. And maybe we can provide opportunity to students not just to learn Spanish, but English. So, for example, there is an institution called C who teaches little kids not just Spanish but also English. So maybe we could apply more these kind of projects. Teach little kids to learn and to become bilingual, to learn both languages. So finally, I get a quote in here, and it's if we spoke a different language, we could perceive a somewhat different world. Baldwin Wednesday. So, uh, you as future teacher, you have to provide, as I said, a fully environment where your students can practice and be engaged in their second language, which will be English. So in the infographic that I will provide you, you will find like the advantages of being bilingual, and some of the tips and some things that you can do to create a a a, a good environment in your classroom. So thanks for your attention, and this is everything.